and good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jessica Lee and you're watching Updates at Noon. Our headlines for today. Selangor State Government announces 2.45 billion ringgit budget. Unity government concept extends to include the rakyat. The Selangor State Government has announced an allocation of 2.45 billion ringgit in Budget 2023 as preparations to face the economic recession predicted next year. Now, according to its Menteri Besar, Datuk Seri Amiruddin Syari, the total allocation was slightly higher compared to last year's 2.34 billion ringgit.
Daripada jumlah tersebut, sebanyak 1 bilion 250 juta ringgit Malaysia ataupun 51% diperuntukkan bagi perbelanjaan mengurus dan 1 bilion 200 juta digunakan untuk peruntukan pembangunan. Peratusan untuk perbelanjaan pembangunan pula adalah sebanyak 49%.
He added that for 2023, the state government estimated the revenue collected to be around 2 billion ringgit, while expenditures could reach 2.45 billion ringgit. Meanwhile, the Selangor State Government also announced a special financial assistance or BKK of 2.5 months' salary to all qualified and serving civil servants in the state government's administration this year. The aid also includes state government administration staff whose salaries are paid by the federal government. The Negeri Sembilan State Government has presented its budget 2023 amounting to 550 million ringgit with an estimated revenue of 450 million ringgit and a development budget of 130 million ringgit. Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Aminuddin Harun, when presenting the budget themed Melunas Janji dan Menggalas Harapan, said the budget included the social development, agriculture, infrastructure, spirituality, administration and tourism sectors.
Sebanyak 22 inisiatif baru akan diperkenalkan dan 42 inisiatif tiada akan dikekalkan, menjadikan jumlah inisiatif belanjawan 2023 adalah sebanyak 64 inisiatif dengan peruntukan sejumlah 107 juta ringgit.
He said tax revenue is expected to contribute as much as 159.84 million or 35.52%, while non-tax revenue is estimated at 227.96 million ringgit or 50.66%. Non-revenue receipts are 62.2 million ringgit or 13.82%. In the meantime, the state government also announced special financial assistance of 1.5 months' salary or a minimum of 2,500 ringgit to approximately 5,599 civil servants in the state, which will be paid in early January and the first week of April next year. Now, the concept of unity government does not only involve the formation of government, but it must also extend towards the rakyat. Now, Lembah Pantai Parliamentary Member Fahmi Fazil said leaders of differing parties should be more open to reach an agreement in ensuring a stable administration for managing any issues that may arise. He also expressed agreement with the opinions of several parties to establish a Confidence and Supply Agreement or CSA to further strengthen political stability and national administration.
Bila masa hasil daripada memorandum persefahaman antara Pakatan Harapan dan Kerajaan Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri dulu membuahkan satu suasana yang stabil. Jadi saya lihat sekiranya kita ingin capai satu kestabilan, kita tidak boleh ketepikan terang-terang konsep CSA ini untuk mana-mana parti yang tidak terlibat dalam kerajaan perpaduan. Jadi saya terbuka kepada konsep ini.
Now, the ringgit is likely to revisit the 4.46 level next week, last seen in August, as market mood continues to be lifted by renewed interest rate hopes and optimism about the new government. Now, SBI Asset Management Managing Director Stephen Ince said Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim intends to focus on stability and the economy, which will benefit the ringgit. The ringgit kicked off the week on a weak tone as the first ever hung parliament outcome in Malaysia from the 15th general election held last Saturday shook investors' confidence. The market made a turnaround and rallied as much as 1.8% to its highest in over 2 months versus the US dollar on Thursday, with the appointment of Datuk Seri Anwar as the new Prime Minister, thus easing the political uncertainty. The local currency was the best performing currency in Asia on Thursday, also boosted by continued hope that price pressure has started to ease, with the Fed's November meeting minutes pointing interest rate hikes may slow soon. Now, on a week-on-week basis, the ringgit jumped against the US dollar to 4.4795 on Friday from 4.549 on Thursday, the previous week. The local note was also traded mostly higher against a basket of major currencies. Meanwhile, Bursa Malaysia is likely to trend higher next week, recovering from profit-taking on Friday, riding on a better risk appetite, especially from foreign buyers. Other than the local note, the market rebounded strongly on Thursday following the clarity in the local political scene as the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riyatuddin Al-Mustafa Bilal Shah consented to the appointment of Tambun Member of Parliament Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim as Prime Minister, coupled with positive external developments that fuel investors' risk appetite. The FBM KLCI rallied to a near 3-month high of 1,501.88 on Thursday, before retreating the next day due to profit-taking. On Friday to Thursday basis, the key index rose 37.22 points to 1,486.54 on Friday from 1,449.32 last Thursday. Now, a man believed to be involved in luxury watches and handbags fraud totaling 20 million ringgit in Johor was arrested at a house in Bukit Jalil, Kuala Lumpur last Sunday. Johor Police Chief Dato' Kamaruzaman Mahmad in a statement said the 32-year-old local was suspected to be involved in dealings of special or limited edition wristwatches and luxury handbags between August and November this year. He said the suspect was arrested in Kuala Lumpur at 4:45 p.m. and brought back to Johor as the cases were reported in the districts of Johor Bahru and Iskandar Puteri. Dato' Kamaruzaman added that this was following police reports lodged by 4 businessmen aged between 31 and 40 who claimed that they were cheated by a local man. He said police investigations also found that the man had been involved in another case in Perak using the same modus operandi. Now, according to Dato' Kamaruzaman, the suspect has been placed under remand from today until Sunday for cases involving the Johor police. The suspect would be handed over to the Perak police once the investigation in Johor is completed. The case is being investigated under Section 420 of the Penal Code. Now, foreign front, US bans Huawei tech equipment, citing security concerns. Hamas Political Bureau Chief Ismail Haniyeh has congratulated Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim on his appointment as Malaysia's 10th Prime Minister. In his congratulatory letter, Ismail said Hamas looked forward to Datuk Seri Anwar's continued support of the Palestinian cause and wished him success in leading Malaysia and the causes of the Islamic Ummah and its peoples. The congratulatory letter also read that Hamas remember with a great sense of pride that Datuk Seri Anwar appreciated stance in support of the cause of the Palestinian people and the blessed Masjid Al-Aqsa. Ismail said Hamas looks forward to continuing this path with more courageous and interpret stance until the Palestinian people obtain their full rights, the country is liberated from the vicious occupation, and the independent Palestinian state is established, with Al-Quds as its eternal capital. A copy of the letter was shared with Malaysian media last night. Datuk Seri Anwar, 75, took the oath of office as the 10th Prime Minister before the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riyatuddin Al-Mustafa bin Al-Shah at Istana Negara on Thursday. Meanwhile, Chinese Premier Li Keqiang last night also congratulated Datuk Seri Anwar on his appointment as Malaysia's Prime Minister. According to Xinhua News Agency, Li, in his message, said that China and Malaysia are traditionally friendly neighbours facing each other across the sea, and their bilateral ties have sustained a great momentum of development. He said the two sides have continuously consolidated mutual political trust and deepened win-win cooperation, contributing positively to the peace and prosperity of both countries and the region. Lee said he is willing to work with Datuk Seri Anwar to push for further development of the comprehensive strategic partnership between the two countries and move forward steadily towards building a China-Malaysia community with a shared future so as to better benefit the two countries and their people. Up next in sport, no political flags or symbols allowed in Malaysia Cup final tonight. Now, fans are not allowed to bring in and fly politically related flags at the 2022 Malaysia Cup final between Johor Darul Takzim JDT and Selangor FC at the National Stadium in Bukit Jalil tonight. Now, Football Association of Malaysia or FAM Security Committee Deputy Chairman ACP retired Muhammad Dali Wahid said stern action will be taken against any fan found flouting the ban, adding that the final was not a suitable venue to celebrate or protest political-related matters. Explaining further, he said, as many Malaysians might still be caught up by the currently ongoing situation in the country, flags relating to politics might make others feel annoyed. As such, it was decided that anything that can cause provocation and affect public order will not be allowed into the stadium, and this includes political party flags. Meanwhile, Cheras Police Chief ACP Zam Halim Jamaluddin is expecting around 80,000 fans to flood the National Stadium as soon as the gates are open at 5 p.m. and said police are making preparations to ensure public order and safety.
Kami telah pertama sekali meningkatkan jumlah kawalan keanggotaan di stadium, dan yang kedua kita juga ada meletakkan pegawai-pegawai polis yang berpakaian preman duduk bersama dengan penyokong-penyokong. Jadi kita observe, kita memerhatikan segala gerak, tingkah laku dan sebagainya bagi memastikan mereka ini tidak melakukan provokasi melampau.
ACP Zam Halim said several roads around the stadium will be closed before and after the match, including the stretch of Jalan Barat beginning at the Taman Teknologi Malaysia TPM intersection till the Merah Chaga intersection. And that's it for this afternoon. In our top story, Selangor State Government announces 2.45 billion ringgit budget. Do tune in to News at 10 coming up later tonight on Saluran Berita RTM. I'm Jessica Lee. I'll see you later.